Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we have a new wheel coming. It's all in the box. Let's have a quick look. So this is the new Begode wheel. It's quite a big box. Let's take it out of the box and see what's inside. I have unpacked the Begode ET Max. Okay, this is the first wheel in the UK. God, there's so many names. I get so confused now. So many wheels from Begode. Let's have a look. It's on the bench, and let's look at this big boy. Here we are. So this is the big boy, and it's a totally different design. This one is a new design from Begode, and let's have a look at the specs here. As we so we've got a spec sheet here from Begode. So the specification for the ET Max, it's a 20-inch. So this side is the dimensions and all this tire size and Bluetooth speaker. So there's no Bluetooth speakers. You've got headlights, you've got tail lights, you've got the LED lights. So the net weight is 49 kilograms. Okay, so you've got the it's a 20-inch wheel, black and so on and so on. Charging cord is a GX20, 168 volt, 5 amp charger. Okay, and the motor is 4,500 watts on the motor, and it's using the 21700 cell 50S. Okay, this is the new 50S cell. Battery is 3000 watt, the battery, and it's got a smart BMS on this one, and a large 3-digit number display. The suspension travel is 113 millimeter. Okay, so A parallel 48 MOSFET, 1200 amp it can deliver. Wow, this is the controller. So there's a lot of power in that, so gotta be careful when you look into the control board. You have to be very careful. Careful with the high voltage, because it's dealing with a 168 volt and 5 amp. So 168 volt, that can kill you. Okay, if you're not careful. So you can upgrade it with wireless like before. So first class speed alarm, so those are the setting. And the free speed spin, it's claimed to be 180 kilometer in race mode. So if you turn off the race mode, it'd be 150. Okay, so 150 if the race modes are off. So from 150 to 180 when it's on race mode. And the current limit is 300 amps. So there's a limit on the amperage you can the output of the board. Over voltage alarm, low power and alarm, and so on. So overheat is 79 degrees. And there you are. So this is the software bit and the hardware and the structure of the wheel. So you get one of these specifications sheet that comes with the wheel, and see there on the picture, it's quite tall. And let's have a look at the wheel itself. There you go. So this is the wheel itself. So it's got a very meaty tire. Let's go and have a look closely now. So this is a street tire, and it's very meaty street tire. It's like one of those tubeless tire, but it has got a tube inside. Okay, it's a very strong tire, reinforced. It looks and feels very meaty and strong, and looks different on the tread. And it's a 90 by 90. Okay, 90 by 90. Can't see that. 90 by 90 by 14. Okay, so the motor hub seems to be a normal size. it's not as chunky as the EX30, the motor, but it does feel strong. The motor does feel strong. Now this is a new design on the suspension. So like the Master in previously, you got the suspension rod going down here. Okay, but this time it's got a reinforce. So this beam here, it looks like it's clamped onto here. Yeah, so it's clamped onto the main rod itself, and this bar here goes all the way up here to the chassis. Or does it, or is it loose? Okay, so it's not attached to it. So it's not attached to it. So the battery has to go somewhere. Okay. So it looks like this attached to the battery, and the battery is attached to the chassis. So the battery is got connected to this and here, and what is connected on the bottom is this 3 nuts bolt for the battery. Okay, and then there will be a bracket to go across to reinforce, you know, the stand, the back stand. And the pedal itself, okay, it's the standard shape for the Begode pedal. Okay, so I feel like it's all alloy, so they won't be using metal at this stage anymore. They learned their lesson on that, so everything will be alloyed and you know, magnesium alloy. But this one here is this is definitely alloy. Now this bit here, not sure it's alloy or plastic. This is the top bit is plastic, and see they can actually see through with the lights. You can see through there, the plastic on the top there. So let's have a look at the so we can see the suspension rod coming up here. That's the rod, and now this rod here, the suspension, is a U shape all the way linked across the other side, and the suspension is mounted on here, the spring, and that goes up along here. So the rest brackets, then they look thin. So it's sort of like it's been shaped off. So the thickness is quite thick, but it's been shaped off. It's not like before. They probably use a stronger alloy. That's why it can be thinner. So it's quite simple. You got the bolt there. It's not very thick. It's not very thick. And you got the linkage here, and the bolt. And you got 2 settings on the suspension. Probably the rebounds and preload. And the spring, you got a nice hole here which you can adjust to preload the spring. And then the shock itself, the rebound and the how fast and slow the setting is here. And to pump it up, it's right at the end here. So this is where you pump the shock. Okay, this is a new shock I haven't seen before. So plastic there. So again, so you got the chassis for the heatsink for the control board running along here, and the speakers there on the bottom, and also you got the charging port. Is that the charging port? So the charging port is here. It's a 3-pin charging port, and that is covered by this knob here. So it's like opening your water bottle, really, with a cap there. And you got a little plug here. So this is like what they use on a scooter. This little plug here. So this is the plug for the LED. So you got one on the left and one on the right on the other side. So this is your LED connections, and it goes into the control board. Okay, so the protection handrail is metal. Okay, alloy. So yeah, all in all, so you got the mud guard is metal, Okay, so that's metal mudguard. So this mudguard is metal. And again, they're using a rubber shock here. I hate this stuff because although it's 130mm travel suspension, if you do reach the top, it might sort of make a clunky noise because of this hitting the top. And on the bottom here as well, you can see there, they're not using the ring anymore, but just little cushion there, two little rubber cushion. So when the wheel is jump up in the air, it depends how fast the rebound is. If that hits it there, you'll usually hear that knocking noise. But we will see when we test ride it, see how loud that is. And the rubber is here. And this rubber looks like a 9mm rubber. Okay. And say it does look quite high up the length of this because it's 130mm travel suspension. That is the wheel. Yeah, so you've got the connection there for the LED. So it's quite simple. You got the motor and the tire on there. The motor, the rim, the tire, the rod. Okay, and then the shock. So this rod here and the shock, and you got this bar along there for the battery to rest on now. Before it just rests on the top and the T-bar on the bottom. So looks like they have removed the T-bar. They're no longer using the T-bar and just uses this mount which the battery connect to. Okay, let's have a look at the front. So on the front here, what we've got here, we've got the so that's nothing there. Is that the handle for the bracket yet? So that's the handle. So that lifts out as a handle. Okay. So the handle is metal. And obviously the top is plastic. And you got a big display there. Nice big display there. So it's quite thin looking at it. It's quite thin. It's sort of like slanted shape off, slanted, quite smooth. And then you got the battery on there, which sits in there. So it's not so fat. Itself is not so fat. So you look at that. It's by looking at this, it's around 7, about 8, 10, 18. Yeah, 18 centimeter. 18 centimeter. But you look at the pattern. The pattern is 20. The pattern is 20. So this is 18 across. Okay. Yeah. So that is the Begode wheel. There's not much you can do with this. This is quite simply put together. There's not much to look at when it's in a skeleton form. Okay, so this is the stand, and you've got the front light. Let's turn it the other way. Okay, so on the other side, you can see there, the motor cable is on the right hand side, and it goes up. There's the same design with a C bracket in there, and it comes up and into the control board. So the cable itself is quite a thin cable though. It's not that thick. Okay, so the cable is not that thick. Okay, and yeah, so we got the 4 LED on the top. It's a different light, and those LEDs seem to be look a lot brighter. Looks a little bit nicer. It's quite slim, and it's adjustable. Not a lot, so you can't really adjust it. So it's not adjustable. which is a shame. Oh, that's not very good, is it? So it's not adjustable. So it's a fixed light. So we see how good the beam is on that. So it's not, doesn't move a lot. No, it doesn't move. So there's no play on there, just a tiny bit. Because the way it's been shaped, you can see that? So it's in an angle, so there's no way that it can turn. Because it's in an angle and it's mounted there. So that's the LED light. Okay, so let's have a look at the other bits that comes with it. And let's look at the battery as well. Okay, so we have 4 battery. And the batteries are long. They are really long. Okay, well, I mean long. This is the longest I've seen on a battery. And let's measure the battery length. So it's 49 centimeter. So the length of the battery is 49 centimeter. That is long. It's longer than the Abrams or the Master. I don't know about the Monster Pro, the Master Pro, but that is a long battery. So you see, that's why it's not designed for a small person. You see that? So the width of that is 8.5 centimeter. Okay, 8.5. And height of that is 5.5 or 6, yeah. So that's the battery. So it's huge, and obviously you expect that to be waterproof nowadays. They won't make a battery not waterproof. The screws in there, and the gas, yeah, so it's all sealed there, watertight. Okay, so that's 4 battery. The charger that come with it is a big charger, and let's have a look at that. That is 168 volt and 5 amp. Okay, so that's a 5 amp charger, and it is big. The charger is big. Let's compare to other charger. Let's compare it with something. Okay, so we compare the battery to a Kingsong S22 battery, and this is what it looks like. Look at that. So got that bit there. So that's how tall it is. And the Kingsong has the the cover on top, and this also has a cover on top. So that's how long the battery is. And let's take that out and compare the charger. So this is a charger that comes with it, and let's compare to a standard 100 volt charger. And this is how big it is. You see there. So that's the size. So you get the idea of the charger size and the width. And that's the width. Yeah, so it's quite a chunky charger as well. Yeah, because of that high voltage. That's what you expect with a bigger charger. Okay, so this is the other bits that come with the wheel. You see there? So let's go down. So we got the side cover on the front, or maybe on the rear. Yeah, I have to put that in. So this is the front on the left hand side, and it's got LED light at the back. We've got the LED there coming down here, and it's a see-through plastic. Yeah, it's see-through. So I've got 2 of those, and we've got the lean pad. Okay, the front and the rear, and we've got the bracket, which is a stand. Now the stand, let's have a look at the quality of the stand. So the stand is made of a composite plastic. Okay, it's like yeah, and also the back of here, this piece is, I'm not sure if this is, yeah, this is metal. So you got a metal piece bar at the back, and the 2 side plastic bar. Okay, yeah, so those are very strong plastic here, and on the side there, Begode, so it will sit like this on the stand. So that's the stand, and also it comes with the screws to put it together and the sticky bit for the lean pad, and that's it. So there's not much. There's not much. There's just lean pad, LED, back stands, and the wheel for battery, a big heavy battery. So let's put it together. Okay, so with the EX Max Begode, to remove the top cover, you have to undo the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 screws on the top. Okay, and then that just pops out. After you unscrew it, the thing just pops off. Okay, well, so with the cover off, obviously there is a LED connector to the cover. Well, not LED. This is the connect to the cover. That goes to the LED. Yeah, the back LED. So that goes to the back LED. Okay, lights. And if you can look at this, so this is the new style control board. Looks quite sophisticated there. So we've got loads of capacitor under the top board, and this is the voltage. Yeah, the smart voltage connector. So it's just like migrate 2 pack of battery together, and you got the LED there. Oh, look. So you got the LED, big screen LED, 3-digit, same as before. Big LED, and yeah, it's not much in it. So this is the battery cable that connects in. Is that the battery cable? Let's have a look. Yeah. Where's the okay, so the battery connects straight into this. Yeah, so you got 4 holes there. Oh, there's 4 holes there. Yeah, 4 holes. So this is it's waterproof, definitely, because it's got a gasket there. So this is the gasket, and you got the hole for the battery cable to come through. That goes into there, and then you connect the battery onto each side. No, that's the power going into the control board. Where's the motor cable coming? The motor cable comes in come from the front here. So that's the motor cable. Motor cable goes here, yeah, and it plugs into the. Okay, yeah, so it's plugged into there. So the motor cable comes in there and it plugs into there. So to change the motor, you have to remove the LED. The LED seems to be plugged into it with a 4 plug there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes on top. If you take this off, and then we can remove the motor cable. But you don't need to do that to change the tire, because you can actually change the tires on this side. You don't need to touch the motor cable at all. I mean, once you move the wheel out from that bracket, you can change the tire without undoing all the motor cable. So it's got a lot of little capacitor in there. And yeah, that's it. This is just the control board, and then you got the top power in board, and the LED, and the Bluetooth on the main board. This is without the front and the rear guard. And you see this just one piece there. There's not a lot of metal on top, so That means it's quite light. The only thing that weighs a lot will be the battery on this wheel. And you got the session there, so you got about 1/3 of the battery weight on the top and 2/3 on the bottom. So that means it's still quite heavy on the top because it's the weight is not low down. So yeah, we'll see how it rides anyway. And because of that weight on the top, the suspension there, the shock is there. This is connected to there, and we'll see how strong that is as well. But all in all, it's they're getting simpler and simpler, the wheel design. Okay, so each pack of the battery at the moment on the one pack, I'm reading 78 volt. So that means it's a 2-pack wheel. Okay, so each pack gives you 100. Well, each pack is 70, so you got 2 pack on one side, which gives you 168, and the other pack on the other side gives you 168. So it had got a spare pack, so which is good. So it's quite tricky to get the battery into this rubber grommet seal. So you got 2 holes in there, so you got to squeeze this big plug through there, through that hole. Use a bit of WD-40 to make it smoother to go in. And once it's in, you have to position it correctly, so that just go on top of the you know, the lip of the metal chassis. So go on top of the lip of the metal chassis, and this is yeah, so that's the battery cable. Now we need to plug that in. So I'm going to plug that in last. I'm going to do the other side, just secure the battery on this side, and then the other side, and then we plug in last. Okay, so to put the battery in, you have 4 screws on the top. Okay, they're bigger bolt, and then it comes with those smaller screws. So each pack, so on this pack we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 screws on each pack on the inside. Okay, so there's lots of screws. There's 16 altogether. Quite a few screws to put in. Okay, so there's a screw in there, and the bracket of the pedal hanger sits on top, so you can't screw it in unless you take it off. So let's take that off. There you go. And it looks like this pedal is adjustable height as well. At the moment it's there, and it's adjustable, so you can lower it down as well. This is good. So it's adjustable. Okay, so now we got the battery cable through the grommet, and you gotta take your time on this bit because you need to put the shielding correctly, so there will be no water going into there, and make sure the cable is all nicely gone into here, as you can see there. So with there's a WD-40, it gives you a bit of slippery, so you can push it in. So that sits on there. It's just a perfect fit. And now we just have to plug the power back in. Okay, so the 4 batteries are plugged in. Let's test it, make sure it comes on. Yeah, good. So it's on transport mode. That's good. So there's no problem with the ball, which is great. Let's power it off. Let's put the top cover back on. So this is the LED light plug. So you plug that into there. Make sure the arrow is in the front, and that plugs straight in. So there are 2 different types of screw, and if you look carefully here, so we've got a flathead screw, which is that one there. I can get that focus. And we've got the round head screw. So 2 different types, round headed and a flat headed. So the round headed will go on the front, which is here and here, and the flat headed will go into those hole that which has been tapped for the flat headed. All finished. Alright, so the wheel is on, the ET Max, and to turn it off and on, there is a button right under there. So there's 2 buttons, like before, instead on the top, it's on the bottom now. It used to be like the Master, it's on the top, but it's on the bottom. So you can see there, and if you click on the power, the light comes on. And the light, you see the Begode lights, they're usually rubbish anyway, and the adjustment is just, it's not that great. It's just, and then 1 more click, it flashes, and then off. And this is the to lift the wheel up, you press on the left hand side, that will allow you to move the wheel or lift it, and then you press it again to engage the wheel again. So all in all, it feels quite nice, but we need to test ride it to see how it goes.
The height difference, the pedal difference as well. Let's see. So what, Kevin? This is the highest setting. No, it's not the highest setting. It's like medium setting, isn't it? This is middle
Standard setting.
Standard setting. Okay. So it can go higher than this and it can go lower than this. So in terms of the pedal height, it's kind of similar, isn't it? I think this is probably a little bit higher.
Now you can use your options on.
Yeah, it's about 50. All right.
50 gross.
50. All right, now let's.